Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Today, we're talking about everything from Hurricane Florence to Apple's big reveal, plus Amazon's new plan for Christmas trees in a box. Those stories and many more in less than 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Wednesday, September 12th. You ready? Let's do this. Today is the day Apple reveals its newest iPhones and Apple Watches, as well as the final version of iOS 12 and more. And the rumors are flying. The event kicks off at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern from California. CNBC says 3 new iPhones are expected, and they'll likely be based on the iPhone X's design. TechCrunch says to expect an iPhone XS, a big one, as well as a cheaper version of the iPhone X. Other things to watch for, possibly a HomePod Mini, a smaller version of Apple's smart speaker, a MacBook Air upgrade, water-resistant AirPods, which are the wireless headphones, and an iPad Pro. Remember, we're talking about the company that became the first public U.S. company to hit a market value of $1 trillion. You can watch live on Apple's website, or for the first time, there will be a live stream on Twitter this year. Or just wait for my updates tomorrow. Okay, it's time for an update on Hurricane Florence. Right now, the AP says more than 5.4 million people live in areas under hurricane warnings or watches on the East Coast. Some of them are boarding up their homes and getting out of town. More than 1 million people have been told to evacuate as Hurricane Florence gets closer. Florence is still a strong storm, a Category 4. In fact, it's expected to be one of the strongest strikes on record for this part of the East Coast. Officials in Wilmington, North Carolina say it'll be a storm of a lifetime, a monster, historic. They're hoping people who live in the storm's path will prepare and take this seriously. The storm could knock out power for days or even weeks. So for now, here's the timing the Weather Channel is predicting. The coasts in the Carolinas will be impacted the most late Thursday into Friday, and possibly into the weekend if the hurricane hangs out and keeps dumping rain. Life-threatening storm surge, wind, and flooding are likely coming. But be ready for strong winds as soon as tomorrow morning along the southeastern coast. Again, if you're in that area, pay attention to the local news and officials and follow evacuation orders. Next week marks 1 year since another Category 4 storm, Hurricane Maria, hit Puerto Rico. And yesterday, President Trump called the government's response to the recovery effort a, quote, unsung success, saying Puerto Rico did not have good electricity even before the storm. But Bloomberg reports he's defending the efforts in the face of more criticism. Since, remember, just 2 weeks ago, we learned the official death toll is actually nearly 3,000 people. There's a new proposal from the Trump administration to relax rules on methane gas emissions. Methane is considered one of the most powerful greenhouse gases, and scientists say it contributes to climate change. NBC News reports the proposed rules would mean oil and gas companies could do fewer inspections and have double the amount of time to make leak repairs. The new proposal is from the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA. The agency says the relaxed rules would save money, up to $484 million between next year and 2025, and that the current rules have too much red tape and are, quote, overly burdensome. But the EPA's own analysis also shows these proposed rules could have a negative impact on air quality and people's health. There will be a 60-day comment period coming up, then the EPA will make a final decision after that. Another thing the U.S. government is considering right now, economic sanctions to punish China. But this time, it is not about trade practices. This would be for human rights violations. Reuters reports there's a concerning crackdown on minority Muslims right now. There are reports that hundreds of thousands of people have been detained and forced to denounce parts of their religion. For now, the U.S. plans to punish China are just in the talking about it phase, so stay tuned. All right, some other things to know today. Electric car maker Tesla says its key fob problem has been fixed. Earlier this week, Wired reported some security experts in Belgium figured out how to clone the key fob in seconds and just open the door and drive away. No need for breaking locks or windows. But the researchers took it to Tesla first, and Tesla now says it's been fixed. That is, if the Model S came out after June of this year. If the car was manufactured before that, Tesla did a software update, which means drivers can set it up so a pin has to be punched in before you can drive off with a car. Facebook is using artificial intelligence in a new way. to read your memes. Mashable reports the new tool is called Rosetta, and it's meant to read the text in images. It'll be used on Instagram as well, which Facebook owns. The tool can apparently read 1 billion images a day. So why have this? Facebook says it can help improve things like a photo search and make the site more accessible with screen readers for people who are visually impaired. It looks like this holiday season, you can just order your Christmas tree like you order everything else. Yes, on Amazon. Amazon plans to sell and ship real full-size Christmas trees this November. And the AP says it'll still come in those familiar Amazon boxes, even if they're 7 feet long. This is the first year the larger trees are available on Amazon. The promise is that the trees will be sent within 10 days of being cut down and should ship fine even without water. There's yet another annual list of the best colleges. U.S. News & World Report came out with its annual rankings. Number 1 for the national universities, Princeton, followed by Harvard and Columbia University. U.S. News breaks it down into various categories from best value to best business programs and more. I'll put a link to the full lists in today's show notes on thenewsworthy.com. And that's it. Thanks so much for listening. And a special thank you to those of you who have left reviews on Apple Podcasts, like the one that recently said, "It's so nice to get caught up on everything without all the crazy back and forth of pundits." And another says, "Upbeat variety of daily news I wake up to every day." Thank you for those reviews. I love to hear from you and to know that The Newsworthy is making a difference for you. And as always, if you want to read more about any of the stories mentioned today, I list all the story links for you in today's show notes. Just go to thenewsworthy.com, click episodes, and find today's date. The Newsworthy is ready for you every weekday by 4 in the morning, so I'll be back with more news tomorrow. Have a great day.